Demolition Profits Podcast by Excavation Marketing Pros. Interviews with successful excavation and septic business owners, revealing how they market and grow their business in today's economy. Hear directly from the most successful leaders in your business and discover what they're doing to keep their phone ringing, equipment running, and businesses booming. Now your host, Scott Andreessen.
Well, hello everyone. My name's Scott Andreessen with Excavation Marketing Pros, and we are ready to kick off your 2025 Internet Marketing Plan Workshop for excavation and septic businesses. So I'm very excited to get this going. And we're going to give people perhaps a minute or so to hop on in the workshop here. And some people are starting to trickle in. That's wonderful. How's it going, Tony? Hope you're well. And so we're going to start this off right on time. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. There we go. So this is your 2025 Internet Marketing Plan, how to maximize your lead flow in the new year for excavation and septic businesses. And let's make sure that you did get your worksheet. We're going to be going over that and filling it out together. If you don't have it, you're welcome to listen in. But as part of this workshop, I wanted to make this very interactive rather than I speak and you just fall asleep, that we actually work on your business together so you have a very clear action plan by the end of this workshop of exactly what your goals are, how you're going to market your business so you can hit the ground running. And you can reach that by going to this link, which is bit.ly/your 2025 plan. So hopefully you got that. And so who is this for? I do want to make sure no one's wasting their time and that you are in the right place. This is for excavation or septic business owners looking to maximize lead flow using internet marketing. So if you provide services such as excavation, demolition, land clearing, you do house pads, pond building and construction, septic installs, septic pumping, brush clearing, sewer repairs, full site preparation, French drains, grading, retaining walls, any of those types of services, you are really in the right place. If not, you should probably leave right now. So here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to set goals for 2025 so you know exactly how many jobs and leads you need to hit your target based on your sales closing ratio. And if you have no idea what your sales closing ratio is, then we'll just go ahead and kind of figure that out together. The three fundamentals to marketing success for selling your high value excavation and septic services, the big picture of all the online marketing channels you should be tapping into to maximize your lead flow online. The latest trends that you need to focus on in 2025, and you'll develop your own custom action plan based on where you are now and where you want to go, as well as what you need to do now to get there. So I need your attention, please. Turn off your cell phones, turn off Facebook. If you're an excavation or septic business owner and you're serious about getting better results online, then these next 60 to 90 minutes will drastically change your business and hopefully your life as well. And feel free to ask questions. We will do a brief Q&A at the end, but if you do have questions during, there's a QA box here in Zoom where you can ask a question and I will be able to get to it. And if you stay to the end, you're going to get these cool bonuses. You're going to get the ultimate excavation website conversion machine blueprint right there on the left. And you're also going to get top searched excavation and septic keywords on Google spreadsheet. so you know how to optimize your business website for the right keywords and paid ads and so on. And this is part of your 2025 internet marketing plan, how to triple your sales by getting your internet marketing right. Where if you've been following along with us for all of 2024, we've literally covered the whole gambit of how to market your excavation or septic business online, from SEO to PPC, retargeting, paid online directories, using repeat and referral business, pay per lead campaigns, social media advertising, and then creating referral programs. So let's get into it. Who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, I've got 15 years experience in digital marketing. I'm most recently an expert speaker at the National On-Site Wastewater Association, the NAWRA Mega Conference in 2024. There I am there in the bottom right corner delivering a speech. I'm published author of Excavation and Septic Internet Marketing Profits. You can see my book there. And then we only serve excavation and septic businesses. That's kind of our thing. That's what we do. And we've successfully launched hundreds of websites and marketing campaigns, proving that what I'm going to show you really works. And in this time, we have learned what works and what doesn't. So the image on the left, if you're listening, is a picture of a CRM with leads coming in. And the picture on the right is someone holding money that's actually burning in their hand, which is what it can feel like when your marketing is not working. Am I right? So in this workshop, you'll learn the same successful strategies that our excavation and septic business clients are using with their marketing to generate dramatic changes in their businesses and lives. So here's some examples. 2.57 million tracked in Penny Earn's dashboard. Rockridge, 433,000 tracked in their dashboard. TH Excavation tracking $805,000 in their dashboard. And I will peel back the curtain to show you how to dominate your local market for excavation and septic while building a 5-star reputation online. Just like this. And while I cannot guarantee you the same results as the people I just showed you, I can promise you the same blueprint they use through this training here today. And if you execute on these strategies, folks, you'll learn today what you'll learn. You'll surely see an increase in your lead flow and sales. So a quick question, what's the hardest part about marketing your excavation or septic business online? I would love to hear from you. Go ahead and leave a comment. You can type in the QA box. What do you think is the hardest part about marketing your excavation or septic business online? Is it hard to get leads? Maybe you got too many leads. Is it easy to get leads, but they're poor quality leads? Maybe that's the problem. How about you're getting leads, they're high quality, but you're not, for some reason, able to convert those to customers, okay? Let's look at a quick case study. So here's a client, Dyer Inc., that when they came to us, they had this reputation you see, which was 3 one-star reviews online. Now, they had relied for decades 100% on word-of-mouth business. Unfortunately, business had slowed down with huge gaps between jobs after COVID. They had an outdated website that didn't convert many leads. They had no KPI tracking in place to know where calls or email leads came from. They did not show up on Google, Yahoo, or Bing for their near me style keywords. So for instance, like septic services near me, septic installer near me. Their business didn't pull up, and it ought to. They also had the poorest online reputation in their area to boot from a few bad apple clients. And that distorted the overall perception of what it was like working with them. Maybe some of you can relate to some of this right here, some of these situations. So here was the strategy: to revamp their website and build it to convert leads better. Get a proactive system in place to fix their online reputation ASAP. Incorporate lead tracking to start knowing what's working and what's not. Where are these leads coming from that we do get? Optimize their website around their top money-making services using search engine optimization for near me style keywords. And then take advantage of technology like automation and AI for inbound lead follow-ups to keep their leads from going to their competitors. They've done studies on this, by the way, that if someone calls and gets a voicemail or they fill out a contact form on your website, you've got less than 5 minutes before they are going to go to the next competitor and you're completely ghosted. So it's very important you have a system in place to not only capture those leads, but to follow up with them so they do not go to your competitors. So, what was the result after doing all this stuff? Well, if I could get my slide to work, I would share that with you. Oh, here we go. They started using a system to get 5-star reviews on Google, boosting buyer confidence, and the social proof helped them to convert leads better. They started ranking in online searches for near me style septic service keywords in their top service areas, and this created new leads and opportunities for them. So here we can see septic installers near their city name, septic installers near another city name, or actually septic tank services. So you can see different variations. Septic services near another city name. So you get the idea. The top way people are searching for their business, now they can be findable. People can click on their link and call them. And because the website converts, turn them into a lead and ultimately a customer. So here you can see leads actually starting to come in, calls coming in from organic search traffic, exciting stuff. So as a result, they are booked solid through their slow season. They recently landed one of their largest jobs ever for a resort septic system installation, which included 2 10,000-gallon septic tanks and a 14,000 square foot mound system. Wow. There you go, with Pine Mountain Ski and Golf. Their online marketing has become one of their most valuable assets, making their business more desirable to future investors looking to buy their business when they finally decide to sell. And most importantly, the most important thing, they were able to use the extra income to hire on someone to handle office admin, help answer phones, to massively free up their time. And look at the happy face on Kathy right there in the right corner. So the question is, what would that mean for your business? Type in the Q&A box, comment. What would that mean, getting results like that? How would that impact your business? How would that change your life? So they finally got their internet marketing right, folks, and so can you. So how do you own the internet in your area? That's why you're here. It's the only reason you showed up. What's in it for me, Scott? Let's do it. Let's talk about it. We're going to carve out your own 2025 internet marketing plan right now. How to maximize your lead flow in the new year for excavation and septic businesses. If you're a veterinarian, you're in the wrong place. So, by this time, you've had the link. I'm giving it to you again. Did you download your workbook? If not, go to bit.ly/your 2025 plan. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're getting right into the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. We're going to set some clear goals. Because success is goals. All else is commentary, according to the great Brian Tracy. Clear goals equal wind in your sails. Am I right? Here's a Harvard study for you. 1979 interview of graduates. They followed them around. 84% had no specific goals. 13% had goals, but they didn't write them down. 3% had clear written goals and plans to accomplish them. Here's the results. The 13% of the class who had goals were earning on average twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all. Even more staggering, the 3% who had taken time to clearly write down written goals were earning on average 10 times as much as the other 97% put together. What does that tell you? What's ever in your mind, get it down on paper or in a spreadsheet, which is what we're going to do. So here's the goal setting framework. You need to have written goals and plans. You need to set a minimum 1-year goal. So here's where I'm at now. Where do I want to be in 12 months? Quarterly goals and then monthly goals. And if you don't reach your goal month 1, are you going to say, screw it, I don't want any more goals? Of course not. You just make some adjustments, some changes, you suck it up, buttercup, and you move on. You must have a stopping point at the beginning of each new year and an end of each quarter to reflect how did you do based on what you set for your goal and what are you going to do going forward. So what are your goals for 2025? Let's pull up your worksheet now and work on your goals together and carve out your client avatar. So we're going to do it, folks. This is the third time I gave out the link, bit.ly/your 2025 plan. So I know most of you, if not all of you, have got this thing printed out, ready to go, right? So let's do this thing. All right. So what I'm going to have to do here is stop sharing this screen so I can share another screen. Because I'm in a screen sharing mood. All right. But to do that, I got to pull it up. Okay, so we're here. So when you go to that link that I gave you, you should see something like this. In fact, you should see exactly this because I'm on the link. So this is exactly what you should see is this. It says 2025 Excavation and Septic Internet Marketing Plan. Step 1, print your 2025 Internet Marketing Plan workbook. Okay, we're going to get into that together. That's this one. See this? Isn't that nice? You guys get a copy of this. I'm going to go over that in a little bit. And this right here, this worksheet, you can download this as Excel, or if you're real fancy and you want to do a Google Doc, you can actually type in this, which is what we're going to do in a moment, and it auto saves. None of that, click a save button. None of that. All right? So let's do this. What is your annual revenue goal? So you're at a certain number right now. Could be $1 million, $2 million, could be 100,000, could be 500,000. Take a moment and in this top box, we're going to use this to fill out your plan right here. Okay, so see this sheet, page 5. That's where I'm going with this. Okay, so let's say your plan is $3 million. You're just going to type in $3 million. Oop, that's $30 million. That would be nice too, right? Okay, but put in a number that works for you. 3 million. So we divide that by 12 and that gives us a monthly revenue target, $250,000 per month. Now here, the cells in white is what you figure out, okay? So what's your average ticket value? So if you're doing excavation and septic, maybe your average ticket is around $20,000, $25,000. Maybe it's $10,000. My point is you can just adjust this right here on the fly, and it's going to tell you how many jobs would be required to hit your monthly goal. Okay, so if our average ticket of a job we sell is 15 grand, then for us to hit that monthly revenue target of $250,000, well, we need about 17 jobs. If our average ticket is, say, $30,000, then we need 8 jobs. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it at $25,000. Okay, 10 jobs. Now, what if we go to step 2? What is your average conversion rate from call to lead to sending an actual proposal, bid, or quote out? And by the way, if you guys have any questions on this, type in that little Q&A box, and it will let me know. Okay, so what is your average conversion rate from call to lead to sending an actual proposal or bid out? So here's the thing on this, is you probably don't convert every lead or call that comes into your business into a proposal. Some are going to be junk calls, spam calls, tire kickers, and so on. Okay, now if you just want to, if you know the numbers of this is how many actual legit leads I get, then you can change this to 100%. Okay? If you, let's say 30%. Let's say out of all the calls and leads you get, 30% of them are usually good, where it's a legit prospect. They may not be willing to buy now, but they had a genuine interest in what you do. Maybe they just weren't ready. So I'm putting in 30%. Then the next question is, what is your average conversion rate from proposal to booked job? Okay, so let's say for every site visit you go out to, you're closing 1 in 3. Or from every proposal you send out, you're closing 1 in 3. Then our number would be to take the total number of sales divided by the total number of proposals. And that's how we get this number of 33%. And you can see here, I'll zoom in. It shows you right here next to this cell how to calculate that. All right. So this is saying right here, we would need 101 leads. And your average cost per lead down here is how much are you willing to spend on a lead for a really good paying job. And then below, it tells us the advertising budget that would be required to get these leads and make this money. Hopefully that makes sense and you guys connect the dots, because this is how professionals think about their marketing. They have everything reversed engineered, so they know it in advance. So Tony's asking a question, is it worth $2,900 to have a domain of .com versus any other domain such as a .net? My question back to you on that would be like, what's the domain name? And is it an actual searchable keyword? So for instance, let's say you lived in Tampa, Florida, and all your excavation projects are in Tampa or septic installs are in Tampa. So if you had like septic services near tampa.com, that could be a really valuable keyword. Just without knowing what the domain is, it's hard to say, Tony. I would need more information. So what's your average CPL? Now, this you may know. You may already be running paid ads, and you may be working with a marketing firm, and you already know like your cost per lead. You've had all your leads come in for the year, and so you can say, all right, I know that on average I'm paying $100 a lead. When we talk all the money in, all the money out, I'm paying $100. So this is saying a marketing budget of $10,000 would be required for 101 leads based on a 33% closing ratio, that we're going to assume 30% of these 101 leads are going to be junk, to get 10 jobs that we're confident we can close at 25 grand a piece. Tony, all excavating. I like the ring to it, or the ring of it, Tony. It's a good brand name. The price tag sounds a bit much to me, to be honest. That I think, you know, it's got a good ring to it, but I don't know that it's worth $3,000 in my opinion, when you can get probably an equally good domain name for like $12. But it's up to you. If money's no object and, you know, $3,000 isn't a whole lot, I'd say go for it. All right. So we figured this part out. And then once you figure this part out, guys, you can go to page 5 on your workbook. And you can see here on page 4, I fill it in for you, so you guys can see exactly how that works. Now, what I want you to do is fill out yours. So page 5, you're going to enter in your annual revenue goal. Put that in, whatever that is for you. Divide it by 12. Now you get your monthly revenue target. What's your average ticket value? Think about all the jobs you normally do. What's the average ticket for a septic install? What's the average ticket for a land clearing job? Let's get it in. How many jobs would be required to hit your monthly goal? What's your average conversion rate? You're just going to enter these in straight from this planning sheet right here. Now, you see here, this next tab, we got another question. What do you budget monthly if your only work season is from May to November? I think that's a really good question. So we're saying May, June, July, August, September, October, November. You're working 7 months out of the year, and 5 months you're not. Well, during the 5 months you're not working, should you quit advertising those 5 months? I would say that that's dangerous, because your competitors might still be advertising. They might be building on their search engine optimization to take you out in the busy season. And certain things, like if you stop doing all at once, for instance, if you're like, okay, you know, it's December, I'm going to kill my website, I'm going to kill my paid ads, I'm going to cut off all marketing altogether. Well, then you just got to start all over again, right? So that's no good. And SEO, any of you who have done that knows that takes years, months and years to build that up really strong. So I wouldn't quit your marketing completely during those 5 months, but I think tapering it down makes sense. So in other words, focusing on, like, if you know, listen, the ground, it's just frozen solid. We're not going to be doing any digging. It's not going to happen. We get 4 feet of snow. Then I would probably focus on organic stuff only. So building up the search engine optimization, doing your social posts, do what you can afford, but tapering it down a little bit, I think, is appropriate. You don't need to go all out. Oh, you're asking what should be the monthly revenue target if it reflects no income for 5 months? Well, revenue targets are going to be personal to you and what you want to make. For instance, if you want $1 million company, then you've got 7 months to do it. Then you still want $1 million company. You just need 7 months to do it. No matter what number. The number is the number. And the months are the months. You're saying that you have no income for 5 months. One thing that I would think to do if I was in that situation is, what could I be doing for 5 months? Could I be doing snow plowing? Could I be doing some kind of other services? I'm sure you've thought of that. But if you're looking to grow a business, the key is to be resourceful of how can you create more income. So hopefully that answers your question. Your number's personal to you. Now, if we click on budget allocations, this next tab, it's pulling your annual projected number from this sheet here. So you entered this in on lead generation target, $3 million or whatever you put, right? It's taking that and putting it in this one for you. Now, what should your marketing budget be for your excavation or septic business? So they've done studies on this, from the Small Business Association to Sharpa. And 6% of your gross revenue is a typical marketing budget. 10 to 12% would be considered aggressive if you're really looking to grow. 3% would be conservative. And so this kind of breaks it out for you of how to allocate your budget. 70% for online, 20% for offline marketing, 10% for repeat and referral business. Okay, repeat and referral business, maybe you're sending out previous customers direct mailers, things like that. And then it will take that number and whatever allocation you're comfortable with, online, offline, repeat referral business, it's going to put those numbers here. So if I change this one to 60% and then change offline marketing to 30%, which could be something like radio ads or whatever, see how on the right, it automatically changes those budgets. And then you see below for January through December, it tells you the amount to spend each month in those areas. So online marketing is this much, offline marketing is this much, repeat referral business is this much. So this gives you a very clear path to follow on not only what your marketing budget should be, but then how to spend that. We got another question. Okay, you're saying, so sorry, what should the monthly revenue target be that reflects no income for 5 months? Well, what I would do if I were you is keep it simple. I mean, we do have 12 months in a year. So just do it that way. That, for instance, if it's $1 million is the revenue target, then the monthly revenue divided by 12 is going to be $83,000 per month. Otherwise, the only thing you can do is say, okay, I want $1 million company or whatever. And you would have to take 1 million divided by 7. Because you're saying you have 5 months without income. So 1 million divided by 7 would give you your monthly revenue target. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know. All right, so we've got the budget allocations there. The next tab, average cost per lead. So here's some numbers, some stats that we've seen. Pay-per-click ads, $65 for septic, on up to $125 for certain excavation type jobs. Demolition, $55. Some of those like excavation near me, PPC keywords can go as high as $80 a click. I don't think people realize that. And so if someone types in excavation near me and they click through to your landing page, they may become a lead or they may not. It's not guaranteed that 100% of click-throughs to your landing page are going to become a lead. But if it's a high converting landing page, you could say maybe 1 in 3, 1 in 4 clicks. So if it's costing you for like the most desirable high traffic keyword, say $70 a click, and it takes you 4 clicks to get a lead, that can be as much as $280, right? So, and they don't all go for that much. Sometimes pay-per-click costs for different excavation septic keywords can be as little as $3. Okay, so there's a lot of strategy to that. I do give you the bonus. You stayed to the end of the top PPC septic and excavation keywords, and then you can kind of see the cost per click for each of the different variations too. Google local service ads, repeat referral business. The blended average is here. And then average transaction value by industry, septic, excavation, demolition. There's some numbers there. You also have a marketing calendar here, January through February, of different things you can emphasize during your months. The purpose of this is to give you a goal and an outline of where you should be focusing. Like, for instance, January, it says land clearing, demolition, frozen pipes, plowing, septic. If you run an excavation company out of Florida, you're not going to be dealing with frozen pipes and snow plowing, right? So you're going to want to adjust this for you. But the reason I put this in here is because now you guys have a game plan month by month of what services do I need to be focusing on during the winter, the spring, the summer, and so on. And then you can do the same thing for your email list, the same thing for your social posts, and your search engine optimization when you're posting blogs and things like that to your website. Now you have a very clear focus of what should I be writing these blogs about or posting about on social this month. Because it makes no sense talking about frozen pipes in the springtime, right? So a couple other things I'll show you on this, and then we got to get going, keep it moving here, is you have a marketing calendar here for septic as well. So this one was for excavation. This one's specifically for septic. I also give you special offers for excavation and septic. So it's like, well, what kind of offers should I put in my paid ads? What kind of offers should I put on my website to get people to click through to become leads or to fill out a form or to call me? So I give you a bunch of different services here and then a special offer to go along with the service. So you see the top one, excavation package, includes site assessment, excavation, removal debris, starting at $1,500. call now or fill out this form. Septic tank pumping special. Professional septic tank pumping service for only $325, regularly $375. You get the idea. I'm not going to rattle them all off, but I think you guys will find this very helpful at coming up with specials for each week, for each month, to market in your paid ads as well as your website. Okay? And then you can do the same thing with your emails here. So January through December, like when I said we were literally going to carve out your whole marketing plan, we're carving out your whole marketing plan month by month. That was the purpose of this whole thing. All right. So that pretty much takes care of this piece with your worksheet. And so hopefully you did the work on this front page, the lead generation target, that you can enter that on page 5 of your workbook. And the other stuff that I want to show you on here is you have these questions that you can go through, which basically you did in this step here. But in case you're doing this on paper, I'm just telling you here how to calculate these things. And then you can write them in next to the question. Now, this one is important. And I think this gets overlooked for most excavation and septic businesses, is who is your ideal client? And I'm surprised, because I've talked with hundreds, perhaps thousands of excavation and septic business owners over the years. And when I ask this question, it's like a deer in the headlights, like they've never actually thought of it. Or they'll say, well, anyone that will pay me. That's another common response. But what I mean by this is take a look at your best clients. They have characteristics. You know who they are. You know what they look like. You know things about them. You know their age. You know their ethnicity. You know, are they mostly female or male? I want you to jot all those things down. What counties did they come from? You know that too. What are the worst counties where they shouldn't come from? You know that too. Okay, you know a lot. So this is your time to think about what you know and put it down on paper. Okay, and so I help you do that right here on the next page. And you can also, actually, you're going to write that here. You actually want to write that on the same page. You can just write it down on Albert Avatar. How much money did they make? How old are they? Mostly male, female. What are their concerns? What problems are they usually facing that motivate them to call you? The next piece of this is after you have that carved out, and I'll let you do that. I know some of you are probably writing that in. Good for you. Pat yourselves on the back. You're doing the work, getting it done. Congrats. After you get that filled out, the next part is to sell to them, because now you know who they are. So what will your unique selling proposition be? What makes you different than Bob's Excavation or Bob's Septic? Maybe you've been in business for 35 years, 50 years. It's not a matter, the game isn't to say you're the best, because that falls on deaf ears. Everyone says they're the best. I'm the best quality. I'm the best digger. I'm the best pipe layer. I'm the best septic installer. No one cares. What will get the lead and the people to reach out to you is something that makes you different. So you could prove uniqueness through stats. Maybe you have cleared 500 acres of land. Maybe you have installed 100 aerobic systems. Maybe you've installed 5. Maybe you've installed 50 conventional systems or 200. Who knows? But get your stats. How many small homes have you demolished? Those type of things you can then put on your website. We have cleared 100 acres of land. We have installed 50 septic systems. We have demolished 20 small single-family homes. Okay? That's unique. I think you get the idea. If you don't, just type in the Q&A box. That's what I'm here for. So how will you speak to your ideal client avatar on your website? Well, if they're mostly female, you're not going to say, hey, dude, welcome to my site, because that wouldn't make any sense. But you might say something like, we're professional. Call the professionals. We love talking to the ladies. I don't know. You can think about that. What specials will you offer? That one at least you should know, because I gave you a whole list of them right over here. Special offers by month, special offers, excavation and septic. So I've done your homework for you on that. You're welcome. What payment terms can you provide to make it easier to do business with you? I know that a lot of people listening to this might only charge by check. Do you think you ought to accept credit cards? Do you think you ought to accept financing? Would it open up more doors to do business with you? What guarantee can you provide? Guarantees, there's an art to that. And no business is in the business of giving away free money. But when it comes to guarantees, we all want them. We all want a guarantee. So what can you guarantee them? Perhaps on a septic system, you have manufacturer warranties. You have some sort of warranties on the pumping systems or something. Think about what kind of guarantee you can give. Maybe you're clearing the land or you're putting in the septic system and your guarantee is 100% clean job site guarantee. We'll leave your yard in better condition than when we got there. Or if not, then don't say that. Okay? But think of a guarantee. Who do you want to avoid serving? I know a lot of you are thinking like cheapskates, people that can't afford to pay me, tire kickers. I get it. So you can say things to help you with that. For instance, if you know that you're not going to go out to anyone's property for less than $5,000, I think you could put projects starting at $5,000 and make your content on your website cater to that. Show images, authentic images of work that you do, showing projects above $5,000. And you could even put on a contact form, what's your budget? And have a drop-down box. Less than 5,000, more than 5,000. Now, does your website reflect that? All this stuff you've just done that you're thinking about right now, that's moving like waves in the ocean through your mind. Does your website marketing, your social media, your posts, does it reflect your ideal client avatar? Or is it just some generalized mumbo jumbo? Only you know. So We're going to get back to our slides here. This is a 20-page workbook that I encourage you to go through because it's very well detailed of your plan. But I think in the interest of time, because we got a lot to get through here, I'm just going to kind of skim through this like so, but then we're going to get on to the rest of our stuff. This is a real nice, right here, what you're looking at, a real nice checklist for your online marketing of things that you really need to have in place to have your marketing successful. All right, so let's get back to our slides. Are you guys getting a lot out of this? Type in the Q&A. If you're getting value out of this, let me hear it. Or if I put you to sleep, I'm sorry. Let me know. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. Let's talk about some key trends for 2025. So we are seeing a lot more use and effectiveness of AI, especially for chat and booking appointments. So for instance, the AI and calls, and I'll show you how this works. So when they go to your website, you can have an AI chat widget now that when someone pulls up that chat widget, they can be like, well, what services do you offer? Do you come out and serve this area? What do you charge? You're able to give the AI some basic instruction, and it's gotten to the point where you can give it your website and all your pages, and it will literally go through and learn all about your business through hundreds of your blog posts, all your website content, trained. It will know your business, who you are, what you do. So if your content is truly accurate about who you are, you've just trained your AI. Then you can give it specific instructions on, well, what if people ask me about pricing? What do you want it to do? And if they ask, how do they contact you to get service or a quote, what is it supposed to do? So you kind of feed it the information it needs in that way, but the conversations that it has with the people are spot on. It does not sound robotic. Unless you said, hi, my name is Charlie, I'm an AI bot, people can't tell. That's how good it is. So I can tell you that our clients are getting leads consistently from AI, and it works for phone as well. And so with phone, it hasn't caught up to where it is through chat. I can tell you that. But it does a good job as far as answering the phone professionally, and it can get a couple basic pieces of information, like as far as what's your name, it will track the phone number, and then from there, it can store that lead in your CRM just from someone calling in. Now, the cool thing about the AI on the phone is it sounds very human and very natural. They really have come a long way with making the AI sound that good. And the other thing it can do is book appointments for you. So for instance, this works best through chat or even text message. It can work via text message too. So people put in their stuff, right? Their inquiry or whatever. You can train it to then send out a contact form by text or email. And the AI will respond back, hey, just sent you a quote form. Can you fill that out? And then once the person fills that out, it can then trigger a workflow to book the appointment for you based on the responses from the form. Now, I threw a lot at you. I know your head is probably like two squirrels fighting over a peanut, if that's what squirrels do. Okay? But what I'm trying to say is it works, and it can see that a lead is qualified from a form fill and then trigger an automation to send them a link to schedule themselves. So you can book calls that way. Pretty cool if you're out in the field riding in an excavator. So more use of AI for content, images, and video. I don't think it would have to be any shocker that we use AI to help write content. Like, you'd have to be a moron not to use AI to write content. What, you going to go stick Jimmy in a corner and have him write all your ads and articles? No. Use the tools and the technology that we have. Automated follow-ups to interact with leads. By the way, am I sharing this screen? I'm not. I'm not even sharing this, am I? No one said anything. That's okay. There we go. So I'm back. I'm back. You guys can definitely see this. Hopefully. Okay. Let's see. We had a question. Yes, good value, very helpful. Thanks, you guys. Means a lot. Means a lot. Okay, but I do want to make sure that I am sharing my screen. And so these things happen, right? We're doing this live. There's no shenanigans here. Okay, so let me get back to where I was. I was on the right thing. So more shift from phone calls to message style conversations. I don't think that's any shocker for anyone. That the conversations are getting started by text or through Facebook Messenger. Now we are seeing the silver bullet effect doesn't seem to really work. And you must have it all in perspective of using SEO, website, pay-per-click, social. It's kind of an all-in-one when we're talking about reaching big goals. If we're talking about, a drastic increase in revenue and saying, okay, I'm just going to run some Google ads and make $1 million, that's probably not going to happen. You're going to have to think long-term and have a long-term marketing strategy of building up the website, the search engine optimization, building up the 5-star reviews so you have the top reputation in your area, and really go all in. Must know your numbers to compete well and track KPIs. We will talk a little more about that. But to give you a brief demo of what I mean is if you know your cost per lead on Google Ads or your cost per lead on Facebook, and you know for certain that Betsy Smith, Joe Jones, and John Jenkins came from Google Ads, and you generated $15,000 from each of them, and you know your cost to acquire a customer is, say, $2,000, then you can make very smart decisions because you know your cost per lead and your cost to acquire a customer. So you could theoretically, if you had the audience in your service area, double the amount of money you put into paid ads and crank out more customers. That's the goal. And that's a normal thing. That really does happen. Lots of opportunity with video ads on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Now, the cool thing about YouTube is it's still kind of a blue ocean, so to speak, with excavation and septic. You see some display ads on there, but not a lot of people doing video ads. I think that's going to definitely increase here in 2025. Facebook and Instagram, I can tell you we use video ads and they work really well. Our clients see good results. Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same company, Meta. And when you market on Facebook, you get Instagram. So you get 2 for the price of 1 on that. TikTok, I think, is going to increase in 2025. It's really becoming popular, and it's pretty much untapped. No one is really going after TikTok for local business that I know of in excavation or septic, but I think that's going to change. Strong online reviews will continue to be a deciding factor. So I want you guys to ask yourself something. When's the last time you hired a local company and did not look at their reviews? Type into the Q&A box if you're one of those people that you don't look at it, online reviews at all. You make your decision without it, like a major purchase decision. And I say major because usually excavation and septic is a high ticket item where they're going to do some research. Should be crickets. Wait a second. We got something. Nope. Always read reviews. Okay. Thank you, Anonymous. I appreciate that. Appreciate your feedback. Let's keep going. So here's what it looks like with your website. Okay? It's no shocker that you guys, probably if you're on this workshop, you see the value in a website and what it can do for your business. And that not only is it a good idea for that to be solid and look great for your own brand to attract higher ticket customers, but it converts leads and it is your main hub. We have found that no matter where people find you, whether it's from a convention or an association up top like NARA, or say you send out direct mailers, or you put up yard signs at your work, at your at your sites that you're doing. If you got the website on there, they're clicking through to your site. Same thing with your social, and then in the bottom you've got blog, and then in the bottom left corner you've got all the different directory sites, which would be like Yelp, Yahoo, Super Pages, those type of things. Those let you put a web link, and you can get a lot of free traffic from those citation sites, they're called. We see them all clicking through to your website to check out a business before they actually make the call or fill out the form. So that's why we call it the hub, and the hub needs to convert. So when I say convert, I'm assuming you guys know what I mean, but I don't actually know if you do. If you do know what I mean by a conversion, type a 1. Or if you feel like doing more work, just say, yeah, I know. Type in the whole sentence, whatever you want to do. Do you know what a conversion is? Is it a conversation? What is it? What is a conversion, if you had to guess? Going once, going twice. I'm just going to tell you. It's a lead. It's turning your website visitor into a high-value lead. So when we talk about conversions with paid ads, conversions with websites, we're talking about leads. That's what that is. And so here's an image of a sales pipeline that we use. So as soon as new leads come in, they're assigned to that first column you see there. Betsy Smith, John, Bill, okay? And you can assign a value to that. Like if you speak to them on the phone, you may know, okay, this job is going to be worth this much. And you just kind of drag their name over to each column. Once you've contacted them, you're going to move them to the right. Once you had an appointment, you're going to drag them over to the right. Once you send out a bid, you're going to drag it over. And that's a sales pipeline, so you guys know. It helps you keep track of your leads. Chat is disabled. Sorry, Daniel. The QA works, though. I read this one loud and clear. Thanks for letting me know that, though. I appreciate it. All right. Now, I want to show you guys something cool on how to think about conversions and why you should care about tracking that. Most of you have websites, and most of you have Facebook business pages and other things out there. And let's say that your website, which if you're savvy, you might have something called Google Analytics that is going to track your website visitors that you get each month. So if you have that, check this, compare it with your leads, and you'll see your conversion rate. But let's say your excavation or septic business, the website gets 500 visitors per month, and it's got a 5% conversion rate. So what that means is out of those 500 visitors a month, you're tracking 25 calls or leads. Maybe it's 12 calls, maybe it's 13 form fills. You got these leads coming in. Out of these leads, you're converting 30% of those to an estimate and booking 7 jobs. And let's say your average transaction is $10,000. That's $70,000 right there. Now, if we get the website converting better, right now it's converting at 5%, but you're really on top of it. You're adding in AI chat. You're adding in the ability for them to text you. You got a contact form above the fold with a strong call to action and a special like I gave you. And this can really happen, by the way, because I gave you the specials. And you guys are taking this information. You're not just going to let it go in one ear out the other. You're going to do something with this information, aren't you? Okay. So you revamp the website, make it convert. And by doing these things, you triple the conversion. Not get more traffic. No, you haven't gotten any more traffic. We haven't even gotten that far yet. You've just fixed your hub. So the same 500 visitors, now you're tripling your conversion to 15%, which is giving you 75 calls or leads. So you, for instance, maybe you got that phone number on the contact page or at the bottom of the page. They can't even find the phone number. They got to click on through to another page. But you've smartened up. You've got the phone number, big, bold, top right corner. People can see it. They're clicking it. They're calling it. They're chatting with your AI widget. Okay, you get the idea. So now 75 calls or leads are coming in. Same conversion rate. You haven't gotten any better at selling. You haven't gotten any worse. You're converting the same amount. That equals 22 book jobs. Same average. You're selling the thing for the same price. But look what happened to our bottom line. It just shot up to $220,000 for the month. That's all by increasing your conversion on your website. Now, I want you to think big, right? What if you increase conversions on your Facebook business page? What if you increase conversions on your Instagram, from your YouTube channel? You see where I'm going with this? So you can always improve conversion, and I really want to encourage you to think that way, because these little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, they really add up, and that's where you make the extra money. So by improving your website's conversion rate, you triple your sales. So how do we do this? How do we optimize for conversions? I'll show you what's working for excavating and septic right now. This way you can skip the trial and error and use the internet to generate high value jobs for your business. So I think the best way to show you how to convert your website better is visually, by showing you a website that sucks. Wouldn't you agree? This is the crappiest website I could find on the internet for excavation. And I hope this guy is not attending the webinar or doesn't see this, but if he does see it, you're welcome. So can you tell me in the Q&A as you look at this thing, and you may like some things about it, and that's fine too, but as you look at this thing, what's wrong? What is it missing to really drive home converting web traffic into cash-paying customers? Can anyone take a stab at it? Type in the Q&A box. Or if it looks good to you, say it. Say, this looks great. I wouldn't change a thing, Scott. He's crushing it. Go ahead, you can be honest. We're all friends here. And if you don't know, that's fine too. I don't mean to put anyone on the spot. You know, that's not what this is about. Headers is white, way too small, barely visible. I think you're talking about the actual menu items, Daniel, and that is correct. And I don't mean to call you out. Hopefully you don't mind me saying your first name. And I would agree with you. Some other things that I see just from a conversion perspective is, where's the name? I don't see any company name. So I would definitely get the name on there. I think that's important. I see no phone number, right? So the rule of thumb, get that phone number big and bold. So there, you put the phone number. It's already starting to shape up, right? We're just doing some basic things that I think you guys can probably look and do this stuff like right away. Anonymous says, what's the name of the company? Poor capture of what this guy does. Yeah. No photos of team either. I do want to stress this because I know how much you guys love your equipment. Probably more than your wives. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying. Everyone has the pictures of their equipment, but there's no pictures of them. And the fallacy of that is that people do business with people. And so the best converting sites, I'm going to show you in a moment, are very personalized. And there's no call to action. So I think I gave you guys like over 20. Just pick one, put it on there. Don't overthink it. Just get something on there. No reviews. So let's say that I did want to contact this person. I can't find the phone number, so I don't know how I would do it, but I might click away to research them and see like what other people are saying for them. And so you really want to be showing reviews on the homepage of your website, all pages, ideally. And there's no live chat or form button. So you want to give people the ways in which they reach out. Tell them what to do. And then there's no wording really who they serve or where. Are they, do they do septic installs? Do they work with home builders? Do they work with home owners? Who do they serve? And where do they serve? Will they come out to my area? I don't know. It doesn't say. So I'll show you a good conversion setup. And these are basic fundamental principles that any of you can do. First off, phone number, top right corner. If you want to put it on the left, hey, I'm cool with it. But just get it on there big, like that. Chat. You can use AI chat, which is what this is using, or you can have a human, if you got an office receptionist, office manager, and they can handle it, that works too. Special, okay? Reviews. And they don't need to click away. They can see these are authentic reviews from Google, over 120, 5-star. Okay, I'm competent. These people can do my work. Team photo with the owners, plain view. No one's hiding behind an excavator. I can see that the people who are going to be working on my project, they're right here in front of me, and they smile. Don't underestimate the value of a smile. People want to do business with happy people. As you look at this page, count the number of smiles and count the number of frowny faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 smiles, not one frowny face. Who do they serve? Well, there's the counties right there. So that eliminates one redundant question you probably get over and over and over. Do you guys come out to my area? There you go. Let's take a look at mobile because the game has changed. I showed you a desktop version of the website, which still matters, but really not so much anymore as we go into 2025. 80% of the traffic that we see is actually going to mobile devices. Okay? So it's got to convert. Here is, for instance, this stat sheet is coming from Google Ads. 85% of the traffic is on mobile phones. So the mobile site, really it's more important how the mobile site converts than the desktop site. So I want you guys, when you're finished with this, take a good look at your mobile website. Is it easy to use? Does it have these items that I'm showing you? Okay, of course you want your company name. What areas do you serve? Plain view. Eliminate redundant conversations. Put a phone number there and make sure the phone number is click to call. Otherwise, there's no point. You know, put a special on there. Don't forget that. Give them the option to email. Put your team photo. Picture of you is fine, smiling. Chat widget right there. Reviews. All the same essentials that you saw on the desktop site, you want to mimic that over to your mobile site. So to beat it into your skulls, here's the 10 critical elements to improve conversions. Speak to your target avatar. You guys have that in your workbook that you're going to carve that out. And just make sure you're talking to the clients you want. What are their fears and frustrations? And speak to why they should choose you. How many times do you hear that they, called a contractor and no one called them back? So would it be a good idea if you're, talking to your avatar and it's a woman, call us now. And if you get a voicemail, we will return your call or something like, you want to make sure to speak to those fears. Be real, use authentic images of your team and work on the homepage and throughout the site. Use video. We still don't see this enough, and it's so easy to do. So use video. All of you have smartphones, so don't overthink it. The same videos that you put on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, I know a lot of you are doing that. You can embed those on your website too. So it's a good idea. In fact, they have tools now that when you upload your videos to Facebook or Instagram, it will immediately go to your website at the same time. So that's kind of how you want to think of these things, is how do I post my content, not just in one place, how do I get it posted everywhere at the same exact time? That's what you want. And that exists. Videos for each of your services, videos explaining why someone should contact you versus the competition. Leverage social proof. So this is mainly going to be your online reviews for Google and Facebook. Yelp, believe it or not, is still very popular for reviews. So those would be your top 3. The only thing that really trumps this, in my opinion, is video reviews. And I still don't see this a lot with excavation and septic businesses of an interview with a client. It could even be on your smartphone, but just going over, what was it like before you got started with us? What was it like working with us? What's your project been like after we finished? Would you recommend us to other homeowners looking for septic installations? Literally 4 questions. It can be a 2-minute video. You guys can do that. So get your basics in order. Phone number, top right corner, put it in the left, whatever, but just make sure it's there big. Ensure there is a web form that customers can fill out. You can either have a full form above the fold of your website so they don't need to scroll, or a button works just as good too. Because sometimes, depending on your qualifying questions, it might not look good to have a big, long form. Add credibility with authority symbols. A lot of you guys have memberships to the BBB, and you pay for those, and yet I see so often that you don't put that on your website or link to it, and you ought to, because that's a trust seal, and people still see value in that. Angie's List, some of you have those super service awards. Use it. Say what you want about Angie leads and all that stuff, but if you have awards and third-party things saying that, look at all these clients that say we're doing a good job, you should be adding that to your website. It can only help. Ensure you have clear calls to action on each page that speaks to your customer avatar and tells them exactly what to do next. And use special offers and coupons. You guys got that. You have examples of that. Make sure your website is mobile optimized with an easy click to call function. The only thing I would add to that is make sure you have a button to email you as well, and AI chat or regular chat. People reach out those ways. And that's it. Start giving clients the option to self-qualify on a form and book online. So this is going to be a trend here coming up, that people love self-service. And so how do you do this to book appointments for your excavating or septic business? Well, none of you want to be driving across town speaking to tire kickers. So here's the best way, in my opinion, to book appointments without having to get on the phone with anybody. So listen up. Hope you guys are listening. If you are sleeping, then just dream about what I'm going to tell you. They fill out a form from your website or from an ad. Name, phone number, email. What do you want our help with? Are you the sole decision maker for your project? How willing are you to invest in getting this done? If the proposal I send you meets all your conditions of satisfaction, when would you want to start? Are you going to be ready and willing to move forward with a method of payment or loan if you feel it's what you need? They ask those questions. You ask those questions. They answer those questions. From there, it redirects to a calendar where they can just book the appointment. So now, not only do you have the lead filled out with the tough questions answered that you probably haven't thought of to ask on the phone, but those are the questions you really want to know. So now you've got that filled out. When they redirect to the calendar, now they're booking in a time slot. And so what do? You get a notification, hey, this lead came in and they booked an appointment. And so now you have two options at this point, my friend. You look at how they filled out the form and see if they're worth your time. And if they are, what do? You just go to the appointment. If they did not fill it out, like say they're way out of your service area, 2 hours away, and they don't have a method of payment, they're telling you, no, I don't have the money, well, then you cancel the appointment. You get it off your calendar. But this way, you're kind of cutting to the chase and knocking out two birds with one stone. Type in the QA if you like that. If you could see yourself using that type of method, or if you would rather talk to them and ask them the qualifying questions, or if you would rather just drive all the way out there and find out that they have no money and they don't really want to work with you till next year. If you rather do that, type that in the Q&A box too. So make sure that your mobile-friendly site is built to convert. Some fun facts: 4.8 billion people now own a mobile phone. 3 out of 5 consumers search for local businesses on their smartphone. Google reports that 40% of mobile consumers turn to a competitor site after a bad mobile web experience. So they get frustrated if the site loads slowly or if they can't navigate around. Or you've been on websites where you're clicking on the stuff, but it doesn't work for whatever reason. They will just back out and look for something easier. There's plenty more fish on Google for them to go click on. And site speed matters too. Messaging that works. Let me share with you guys some messaging that works for excavation and septic. Fast service. Everyone wants fast service. Straightforward pricing goes without saying. Trustworthy licensed experts. Financing available. You will see an increase in conversions and leads by putting that word. Do it. Full warranty. Think about this. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to put a warranty. I don't have a warranty. Get a warranty. Figure out a way to offer a guarantee or a warranty. People want to see that. Anonymous says a hybrid would be nice. So many of our questions are customized and lead to other questions. I'm not sure I would trust an online form to address that adequately. Well, I think that's a valid point, Anonymous. But if you have the right questions and they book the appointment, how much does that tell you as far as how sincere that prospect is about doing business with you? That not only did they take the time to fill out the tough questions, but they booked themselves into the calendar. So they're making micro commitments all along the way, is the psychology of that. Use it to your advantage. It's much harder to call someone back, chase them to try to get the answers you need and book an appointment than it is to ask them the questions, have them do it, and then book themselves. So there's two schools of thought. I think you could test either one, and I think there's a valid argument to either one. The question is, which one's going to make you more money to reaching your revenue goal? You only know by testing. Best lead conversion tips for excavation and septic businesses. This will not work for veterinarians, okay? So hopefully you have left by now. Clean, uncluttered design. Take a good look at your website. Is it clean and uncluttered? Personalized, showing owners, crews, logoed equipment, authentic work images, live social feeds, and videos. Let leads come in using the four biggies: web chat, calls, SMS, and quote forms. And keep in mind, with SMS and web chat and quote forms, all three of those now have the capability to use AI and automation to follow up with people. Show reviews above the fold. Here's a tool that we used for many years before we got our own. Gather Up. That's a great tool for using reviews that show up above the fold. Have seasonal specials to attract a call in. And that's just a duplicate slide. Fly away, duplicate slide. So what is the typical problem excavation and septic contractors have with their marketing? Thank you, Anonymous. Appreciate your comment on the micro commitment perspective. So the typical problem is it's a big investment. Okay? Small gets small, big gets big. So it can be a big investment. We get that. And a lot of times you'll be getting traffic, but no leads. Not enough. Both result in a low return on investment. So that equals parked equipment and an empty schedule. And so starts the failure cycle. Not enough leads are generated for the investment. The business doesn't grow. Feast or famine business cycle. Busy, slow, busy, slow. Business owners become desperate, start slashing prices and profits, going to the bar, drinking too much. You know the deal. And if you don't, pat yourself on the back. Good for you. So we use the tools we got. In this day and age, we can advertise. We can do search engine optimization to show up for our key phrases. Make sure you stay tuned for the bonus so you know what key phrases. You can use your social media. You can use a blog because they are educating themselves on how they're going to be spending that $30,000 months ahead of time before they contact you. If they're going to that information, if they're searching that information and finding you're giving it to them, who are they going to hire? That's right, you. So the goal is to consistently convert visitors to callers and leads. Create a full schedule with your equipment in action, momentum and consistent growth. So success equals phone ringing, no gaps in schedule, proposals being sent, deposits collected, excavators running, business booming. With that, you're able to forecast your growth, hire on team members, buy better equipment, free up your time. Mark Cuban, I think, said it best. Sales is the cure-all for business. I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much it. Any problem in business, sales is the answer. I can't hire good people. Well, because you probably don't pay them enough. If you can afford to pay them more, then you can get better quality talent. Am I right? So how do you do that? Well, you got to sell more jobs and for higher ticket. Well, how are you going to do that? Well, you got to market and advertise yourself. You got to get the reputation up so people feel comfortable spending more money with you. Take any problem in your business right now, any challenge you're facing. Is more sales and making more money going to hurt or help that? But I don't have the capacity. I can't take on more work. I don't think that's anyone here really, because otherwise, why would you be on this workshop? But again, if you don't have the capacity, well, if you sell more, you can hire more people and buy better equipment and do more jobs. Okay? Key ideas. Add authentic images of your team to the homepage and throughout the website. Add video elements to your website. Website welcome video. Videos for your services. Videos explaining why someone should hire you versus the competition. Showcase your online reviews more prominently on the homepage. That's a biggie and one I really don't see enough, and it's like so easy to do. Yet, if you look at all your competitor websites, I bet only a handful are showing their reviews above the fold. Not even that. So the big picture I want to get across with all of you here, because we're bringing this to a close very soon, is get a comprehensive approach that covers the whole spectrum. That would be your search engine optimization, your website, your social posting, social ads, video, using a CRM to store your leads, to follow up with your leads, to automate messages to your leads, to send out proposals, to collect money. Follow-ups. I can't tell you how many business owners we talk to that they treat it as though, okay, the lead came in, I talked to him, I couldn't get a hold of him, and that's it. So having, and that's just leaving money on the table. What I mean is you can have an email lead nurture sequence in place and text messages too that will follow up with them week after week, month after month. And if they don't want to hear from you anymore, they can opt out. And the biggest pushback I get to that is, well, I don't want to be a nuisance. I don't want to bother people spamming them every day. Well, you're really not, because they opted in first off when they filled out a form, and there's that little button at the bottom that says unsubscribe. So it's like you paid for the lead, you already bought them, you already paid for them through a Facebook ad or a Google ad or through your SEO. It's done and paid for. So if you want to lose them forever, that's your business. I think it's smarter to keep them around. In fact, I know it's smarter to keep them around, put messages in front of them, and either they call you a few months later and you get the work, or they opt out. Problem solved. Website focused around your target customer. Post regularly on social profiles. And to do that, guys, you leverage the automation tools. Okay? A great one is Buffer, and I also love Video AI. So with both of those, what they'll let you do is connect all your social accounts, all major platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. You got one video, you can post it across all platforms with the click of a button, just like that, and leverage the free traffic from all of those. And some people say like, well, I don't have time to post every day and this and that. The thing is, you can schedule these out. So it's not like you're doing it every day. You can take an hour on a weekend and schedule it all out and do it. And have weeks and months worth of content prepared and ready to go. Hopefully that makes sense. Focus on automated follow-ups that gather and qualify leads. Focus on reviews. I think focus on reviews should be up top. I put that as number 5. But if there was an order, I would say your reviews should be number 1. Long-term play. Search engine optimization, value-added content to your website focused around questions you get from buyers. So some of the key questions that they want to know is pricing. They want to know about permits. They want to know comparisons. Think about that. I should do a whole webinar on that. Maybe I will. Videos on YouTube. I'm starting to see more of this from excavation and septic businesses, and it's pleasing. It's pleasing that you guys are using YouTube more, because those videos get a lot of views. And what we have found is that people love doing their research on YouTube. And so a good play for this is when you go out and you're doing a septic install or whatever job you're doing, don't get fancy. Whip out your smartphone and start narrating what it is you're doing that day and where. That's all you got to do. And then post that to YouTube. Or better yet, get one of those tools I mentioned and then get it distributed across all the platforms. Okay, guys, here's your homework. You ready? Do your workbook for 2025 Internet Marketing Plan. And if you are one of those that did the whole thing during this workshop, you get extra brownie points. But I want to know from you guys something. Which of the following website conversion items or any of this internet marketing stuff will have the most positive impact on your lead conversion rates? Some of these things that you've done, that you've seen now, what are you going to implement? I know I threw a lot at you, but just pick 3. Pick 3 things and type them in the Q&A. Any of the 3 things. There's got to be 3. I mean, out of all the stuff we just covered, pick 3 things of what you're going to implement as a function of today's webinar. Type in Q&A if you want to share. And if you don't, I understand, that's kind of personal. It's up to you. But I'd like you to share. I know everyone else listening would like you to share. So think about it. 1, 2, 3. Are you going to put your phone number in big, bold, top right corner? You're going to add your name to your website? Hopefully you guys have your name on your website. I'm just kidding. Maybe you're going to get fancy. You can go with AI chat. So any takeaways? We can do a brief Q&A. If you got some questions, now would be the time. What did you learn? What did you notice? What would you like to share with the group? Go ahead and type it in to the Q&A box. Good job, Chris. Self-scheduling, AI chat, payment portal. Very nice. AI chat you have access to, Chris. Chris is a client. Payment portal you have access to. Self-scheduling you can do too. You're on a run. You're on a roll. You can do all 3 of those. You have the tools and capability right now. It's just a matter of getting it done. Marketing budget and schedule from Anonymous. That's good. You got to know your numbers, know where you want to go, determine a marketing budget and the schedule, refine the website, Very nice. Devote more time to social media. I think those are all fantastic. Good job, guys. So we do a free online marketing plan review. If any of y'all are interested, pretty good analysis of online visibility, custom keyword list of most important search terms, ranking report showing where you rank currently, analysis of online directory listings and consistency. That would be your NAP, name, address, phone number, analysis of your online reviews and reputation, and an analysis of your overall social presence, website conversion effectiveness. You can go to excavationmarketingpros.com/schedule if you would like that. And this right here that you see right here, this is kind of the overall online blueprint in a nutshell, just to kind of simplify it. So basically, Daniel, posting one video throughout multiple platforms at once using the tool, very good. You'll see the benefit of that. AI chat, very good. Videos for each service. Nice. And the great thing about excavation, which I should say, is people love seeing the excavators. They love seeing them digging the dirt. They love seeing them demolishing buildings and homes and things. The aerial drone views always look awesome. And so you guys are in an industry where you can really take advantage of video because a lot of stuff looks really cool that you can't do with other industries. The only one who might win would be the veterinarian because they can show cute puppies all day, right? So the online strategy website built to convert. Proactive SEO by providing value-added content that answers customer questions. Focus on online reviews and reputation. Strategic pay-per-click campaign with remarketing. Social presence, posting regularly and email marketing, precision tracking and measurement of your KPIs. And gain fast traffic and get an SEO boost with videos. YouTube video shorts are really hot. Those are the videos that are going to be like under 2 minutes. You'll see that those actually get a lot more traffic than a traditional YouTube video. Same with TikTok. So hopefully you find that helpful. So would you like some help? It takes a team. Let's talk. excavationmarketingpros.com/schedule. Those are just some models you see there. Just kidding. That's us. Claim your reward for those who stuck around to the end of this webinar. It says video, but this actually is a live webinar. So I'm real. I'm not AI. The ultimate website conversion guide, top searched keywords for excavation and septic. You can go to excavationmarketingpros.com/reward for that and get something that looks like that. Okay. So thank you so much. Guys, have a great rest of your day. And Christmas is upon us. So happy holidays to you. Happy New Year. And stay safe, my friends. Take care. Bye for now.
Hey there, excavation pros. If you enjoyed today's podcast, make sure to like and subscribe to our podcast and channel. Leave us your feedback and let us know how we did. And hey, if you're interested in taking your excavation or septic business to the next level online, make sure you visit excavationmarketingpros.com today and take advantage of our free resources and mastermind group for excavation and septic industry professionals.